Welcome back to the Olga S Show. I'm your host, Olga. How you doing? How you doing? What's up? I haven't been able to have like a steady schedule, but I will always show up. Weekly live streams for sure. At least one a week. And with your support, I could do much more. But I need more and more and more. But I want to thank everyone already who's already been sponsoring me, who's joined me on Locals, who's become a member of this channel. I could do a shout out list, or I'm thinking about making maybe a video. Put your little handles in there, your names. Let me know what you guys think, because I'm just so happy and proud of you. And the more the merrier. We need more good people to unite, right? All right, so I told you I was going to talk more about Oliver Anthony as a follow-up to my reaction video. So I'm going to start with that today. We're going to share a video that he posted on Rumble. You might have seen it. Just some of it, because I feel like it's not even just a criticism from the left, so-called left, right? But it's like, I know with all the lies and deception and psyops, I can see why some people think he's a psyop. So we're going to talk a little bit about that and what I see, how I see it. And would love to hear, of course, your feedback. Your comments are my fuel. Keep them coming. I do read them and I will respond. And then I'm going to talk a little bit talk for Carlson, because we're going to go into how to be a man series that I've been talking about. Okay. So I'm going to use a clip that he had. I'm going to use a clip from this other person who I just discovered. We'll talk all about that. And then I'm going to put a link in the live stream so that you guys can call me live. I'll be taking questions or brief remarks to make sure that everyone gets an opportunity to talk. And then it'll be a wrap. So get ready. And the party starts. Hi, I'm Olga S. Pérez, coming at you live, unleashing the power of perspective, one reaction at a time. I've been a life strategist for over 20 years, and I'm here to share my insights on trending topics, current news, and music videos that we all want to talk about with love and humor. Hello, with love and humor. I know for some of you, it's Friday, right? So it's like Friday. For me, every day is a Friday. Every day is, the same day to me, But I will say that this Friday, I do feel very, I guess, tired. like what I used to feel like when I was working, 8 to 5. Now I work 7 days a week, basically. So it's like, yeah, I guess I can get that vibe today, where thank God it's Friday. And I have a meeting that for my Locals members, I'll be doing a live. So hopefully you guys can join me. All the details will be over at Locals. Okay. If you want to know what the meeting's about and stuff, it should be fun. It will be fun for sure. But I just don't know how. Anyway, you'll see. I'm taking you with me out on a meeting. It's not a date, but it's kind of a date. Okay. We'll talk about this. So, let's see. I would love to say hello to everybody. And again, if you haven't smashed that like button, don't forget to smash that like button, even if you're just happy to see me. Share this content. Sharing is caring. I am live right now on Rumble and on Twitter. Well, AKA, or I guess officially named X. So, I'm going to give it to you guys real and raw. There's going to be some love and niceness. And then there's going to be some, because men, loneliest in history right now, men, especially young men. We got to get together. Old men, middle men, young men. We got to come to the fort. And any of you who are new and don't know, don't dare compare me with these stupid ass channels that are out there that act like they're the experts and the authority of anything to do with love and relationships, men and women. And I guess that maybe you were like, why is this woman talking about men? Because I've been with men. That's one. Two, I've actually helped several hundreds of men throughout over 20 years. And not to toot my horn, but I'm never wrong. They don't always listen, but then they come back and they go, I'm like, I get it. It's okay. You can receive information and not be ready to get it. So I'm very passionate about this. Maybe because when I was a kid, I was a tomboy and I kind of wanted to be a boy just so I could do what boys do. But don't get me wrong. As I grew older and I realized, wow, being a woman, multiple orgasms, I'm okay now. I will accept that I'm a woman. But no, I still got along to this day more with men. So, but I am a woman. So I think it's given me an edge, a competing edge, actually, with other people in the arena of relationships. But most of these channels that have like 1 million followers, I can't. I mean, even the whole red pill. So we're going to talk about red pills. And we're not going to, we're just going to start. We're going to nibble on it today. And moving forward, besides my reaction videos, this is what's going to be happening. And I want to talk. I want you guys to talk to me. Tell me the truth. All right. So without further ado, well, let me see who's with me already. Let's say hi. Hello, Carrie Lewis. Ooh, you were able to make it. Yay. Scott Staley. See, that's the only thing I'm not good at. Language barrier. Sean Henry, hello. Thank you for saying that. How did you know? You psychic, Sean? You feel me? Because I'm tired. Isn't it funny? Thank you for finding the strength to join us today with the most amazing entertainment. Come on now. Much love. Much love. Hey, America. I love that. Sarita Shamira. Where you been? Great to see you. Wait, when you lie, and you start believing those lies, no matter what a person says, even if they have a physical proof of the facts, the liars end up only believing themselves and nobody else. That's that ego, man. It's strong. Okay. All right. Because of my last video was the reaction to Oliver Anthony. So here I'm going to start screen sharing. We're going to go down the line. I'm going to move rather quickly because I just want to touch some bells, and get you guys, your brain and your heart and all that stuff working. And then I'm going to open the lines. Okay. I'm going to put the link in the live stream chat, the live chat. And, if I have a lot of people, I'm going to ask you to get to the point, or ask you a question or pick my brain. Right. But let's hopefully give everybody that wants to have an opportunity, have the opportunity today. Okay. Awesome. Love you. Smash that like button. Subscribe, baby. Hey, the Rational Text Leave of V Twin over at Rumble. Great to see you guys. Thank you for joining. All right. Okay, guys, and everything else you need to know about me, how to connect with me, how to join me, become a member, whatever, the links, all of it is in the description below. Okay. All right. Let's see. All right. So this was the clip that I was telling you guys about, that's where I first discovered him. And it was maybe like that day. I guess he went viral later. But that day he had a good amount of views, but you could tell, and it was like only hours up. And I was like, whoa. So if you haven't seen my reaction, go see my reaction. Make sure to leave a comment. Let me know that you were here and you stopped by over there. Now, so look at the amount of views this guy's had since last week? Let me refresh the page. Maybe he's got another mill in the last few hours since I opened this. Okay, 25.8 million bitches. I can't help. All right. Anyway, I was curious. So pretty amazing. He hasn't really posted much, but shortly after this, he had also just opened a Twitter account. And so a lot of people are speculating if this guy is CIA, again, put there from the establishment because he didn't have any social media. And now he's in social media. But I've heard, I don't really have proof to confirm that he's a farmer, but I would like to. I want the truth. And if this guy is not a psyop and he's not, MK Ultra, whatever you want to call it, brainwashed, paid for, bought and sold, I want to know. Still doesn't change the fact that that song really hit us all. But, hello, that's also, it could be emotional manipulation, right? So let's talk about this. So here is another post that I saw on Twitter today about Oliver Anthony and how, remember I mentioned how some of the articles like Rolling Stone, and somebody mentioned, by the way, they're like, yeah, I guess we should like do a Budweiser or do a Bud Light thing to Rolling Stone. I'm like, I don't really think I said yes, but like I implied it in some way. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not about, hurting people, because all the people that have worked it. But you know what? Yes. You know me, when I say cut off your cable, then yeah, why not cut off Rolling Stone? I mean, it's just ridiculous. But it doesn't matter, because boycotting them, I'm not sure, is really going to change the fact that it's just going to create more and more and more of an echo chamber. We need to be heard, not more divided, more separate. You know what I'm saying? Where everyone just goes to their little cliques. That's not going to be helpful. We got to come together. Okay. So here's this guy, and here's what got me from this post. Christianity Today, like a lot of Christian organizations now, sounds just like a leftist NGO. And here's this article from Christianity Today. Christianity Today embodies the spirit of the rich men north of Richmond that we are all rallying against. Christianity Today embodies the actual object of our disdain. Can you look at my face? Do you get what this face is saying? See, remember, if you didn't know, I was in a convent, locked up in a convent against my will in my early adolescent years, to say the least, 10 and up to high school. And it's not because I was in one convent that they're all the same and all the Christians are the same or all the Catholics are the same. No. I've obviously had many experiences. I've traveled the world, and specifically I've explored all these religions that we have today, and read a lot about cults and how they're formed to understand, who's right, what's the truth, right? I've always been a truth seeker, way before a thing called truthers was there, and I'm sure a lot of you can relate. Because now that it's a movement, it's a thing, but there are some of us that have always wanted the truth, wanted answers, asked why about everything. And it didn't end when we were 5 or 6 years old, right? We didn't conform. We were also called or considered misfits. Okay, so my whole thing is that this is exactly what's fucking wrong with Christianity or anybody that's so religious and so righteous. Rich men north of Richmond, disdainful towards people on welfare. Christians shouldn't be. Oh, man. What does that have to do with the fucking song? Like the guy is just art. It's art. It's like a poem. And you can interpret it so many different ways. To me, this is virtual signaling, and they're trying to be like, oh, we just support the obese, the sick people. The person who wrote this article, the people working at Christianity Today, I want to know, does any of them, have they ever, or are they now, right now, living like St. Francis of Assisi? Okay? Because if they're not wiping leopards' feet, shut the up. You get it? Okay. All right. I'm just saying. Like, listen, I can be like any other therapist and coach and life consultant and tell you this and that. And I can do that, of course. But the problem is everyone's so fucking nice all the time that sometimes we know through psychology that we need to go boom. Okay? Going like this happens for like 5 minutes. After somebody's been crying for a while, it's like, okay, enough. You gotta stop crying at some point. Call it tough love. I don't care. Call me Aunt Olga, whatever you want. But it's just too much. It's too crazy. The lies are too far out. And I feel like I'm stuck here with a bunch of crazy people. Not going to happen. See, you're not going to make me crazy. Only two things are going to happen here. They will either implode because reality will always hit you and knock you on the head one way or the other. It's going to happen. The rest of us, we need to be loving and patient and lead by example. We don't need your little stupid ass comments, Christianity Today, okay? And leave Christ out of this. Poor man. He would never say something like that. Try me. I guarantee you. Can you imagine Jesus Christ saying Christians towards disdainful towards? First of all, I don't even think Jesus would use the word disdainful. But see, that's another whole rabbit hole we can get into just with that title. So I wanted, and this is what I was saying in the last video, I wanted to share this. Oliver Anthony, I thought, wow, that's really cool. It's like bad lighting, you know, talk about real. Bad lighting. But I felt, again, of course, everybody can be an actor, but come on, guys. Let's use our instinct here. Let me know in the comments if you guys have seen this. Give me a second. Oh, I clicked on the wrong thing. I was just checking to make sure that Rumble. What is going on? Okay, whatever. Hopefully everything's okay with Rumble. Because right now, every time I click on it, it's playing it. Anyway, okay. So I'm not going to play the whole thing. I think it's kind of long. What is it? Like, it's maybe 8 minutes, I think.
Well, hey.
9 minutes.
It's August the 7th, 2023. And as of this recording, tomorrow on Tuesday, Radio WV is going to upload the debut of Richmond North of Richmond. And it's going to be the first song to get out there that's been recorded on a real microphone and a real camera, and not just on my cell phone. And Lord willing, it's going to get some traffic, and maybe at least a few of you are going to drift your way over here. And I thought I'd have kind of an introduction video on what it is I'm aiming to do here. So, I've been playing a long time and singing. I really started to write my own music back in 2021. Things were obviously not good for a lot of people, and in some respects, I was one of those people. And
me too, Sean.
Wasted a lot of nights, getting high and getting drunk, and I had sort of gotten to a point in my life where even things that I did care about didn't mean anything to me anymore. And I mean, this is certainly no Dr. Phil episode, but I
see, look at him.
I found an outlet in this.
Come on now.
And I started uploading a couple songs, and Ain't Got a Dollar. I uploaded.
Yeah, I got that. I got my eye on that one. I'm going to do a reaction to that one.
Cobwebs and Cocaine, and the list goes on from there. And there's probably been about a dozen or so originals that I've put out just off my cell phone. And I started getting messages from people saying like how much the music was helping them, and with their struggles in their lives.
I'm not buying the fact that this guy's
they've been sitting on the back porch listening to me for the last hour,
right?
And it just I don't know. It
I mean, you could.
Really
I mean, especially if we're talking like
it made me feel like
MK Ultra, right? Especially if he's been drinking, getting high, maybe they freaking produced this guy. That song, that was not AI. That was no. And maybe even let's get real, like conspiratorial, right? Let's say he really is, and they totally brainwashed him, and then maybe he escaped, like that show. What is it? Stranger Than Things or something. I forget what it's called. I don't really watch the show, but I know of it. And I'm pretty sure it's like a carbon copy of the whole MK Ultra. I don't know if you want to call it project. But yeah, so as you know, this video is kind of long, but I thought it was very sincere. And I thought if anybody hasn't watched it, you should watch it. And please give me your feedback.
It made me feel like I wasn't just wasting my time. And so anyway, kind of in the last roller coaster of the last year, I have decided that this is going to be what I do. At all costs, no matter what, I'm going to I'm going to write, create, and produce as much original, authentic music as I can.
And the thing is, he also had done a fair over here, and I'm not sure if this is the clip, but let me make sure you guys can see the clip I'm looking at. But he read a verse from the Bible. And again, I'm not the Bible thumping type of person, but I know my Bible. And I do believe in Christ. I do believe in Jesus. I do believe in God. If it wasn't for God and Jesus and all the archangels, and I can go down the list, this wouldn't be happening right now. I wouldn't be here. Okay? And I've got thousands of examples. Okay, maybe I'm exaggerating. Maybe I have a few hundred that I can remember. But yeah, so, there's these certain touches. But again, maybe that's right. That's a psyop too. More of the divide of using Christianity, right? Did you see the whole thing with Pakistan throwing down churches, crosses, and all that? Again, to me, it's a breakdown of society. Either way, it has to happen. So I'm okay. I'm not scared of it. I don't think it's a big deal. I don't think it's like, this is inevitable. Systems have to collapse when they're so corrupt, and when people don't appreciate, and when people are so, materialistic, selfish. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm trying to. Here we go. Sorry about that. I have to double check that I'm still live and doing well, and all the channels you guys can hear me. So a segue to that. So here's a guy. I thought that was great to start off the show also, not just because I said I would pick up where I left off from the live reaction from his song, Richmond, North of Richmond, but with the whole male, the manosphere, and the red pill arena. I've always loved men. I'm very grateful. There's always a bunch of assholes. Of course, there's always an asshole that ruins it for everybody. But for the most part, I can't imagine life without men. And, they're being destroyed. They have been. And now I'm going to do a segue. My thing is, the reason why I plugged in Oliver is because I feel like his story, and that's why I want you to watch that clip fully. Because it's great to see that. It's great to see heart and how strong the heart is. That if you're led by your heart, and here's a man, he doesn't sound no fluid gender, nothing here. That's a man. Okay. And I'm sure he's going to become greater and greater, hopefully. Right. If he keeps his heart clean and good, you will never do wrong. That's why I'm going to talk in a second now, too, about the whole red pill and the lies that they say. So now, and this is the other reason that contributes to men being frustrated with women and women being idiots and not stepping up the plate themselves because the men aren't doing it. If the women really had to compete, but we'll get into that. Again, this whole series, we're going to get into it. I'm not going to be able to cover it all today. But so I see this article. So this is a segue. And I see this article. Well, I see this video pop up from Breaking Points. And it's called Shoe on Head, which I've never heard of. So this is the first time I've discovered this girl. I looked at her page. She's got over 1 million followers, or maybe 2 million. I was like, okay, what's she about? But I really like the conversation they had here in this clip. Response to male loneliness backlash. Okay. So let's watch this.
Epidemic of male loneliness that we thought was really recently put. Friend of show, YouTuber Shoe on Head, recently put out a long video about the epidemic of male loneliness that we thought was really interesting. So we invited her on Breaking Points to discuss it with us. Shoe, welcome.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course. Absolutely. So we pulled a little bit of what you had to say on the topic, and we love to get your thoughts on the other side. But first, let's take a listen to a bit of the beginning of the video.
I regret to inform you, the men are not okay. That's right, folks. The men are not okay. The men have no friends, no girlfriend, no college education, no money, are breaking their legs and inserting metal rods into their bones to be a few inches taller, and listening to AI Batman help them overcome their pornography addictions.
You deserve real love.
Turns out the society that was built by and allegedly for men has indeed let them down. Now you might be thinking, oh look, another boo-hoo poor men video by Shoe on Head. Yes.
June, what inspired this video?
Like, good girl.
So I've been talking about subjects like this since about like 2014 and like men issues and stuff like that. And I would criticize things like pop feminism. I don't know if you remember back in the day, like 2015, 2016, there was a big wave of like anti-man sort of quirky Tumblr type of feminism back in the day. And so that was my whole like bread and butter. I would just talk about issues like that. And I would get like crapped on for that and everything, called a men's rights activist and a pick me and everything. And then rewind now about 9 years later, 10 years later even, a lot of the left like the online left is starting to talk about these subjects, which is great. It's really refreshing to see that. But it's kind of only in a reaction to the rise of people like Jordan Peterson and Andrew Tate. And I feel like there was this void for a long time of people not really caring about men and like how they're feeling and what they're going through and how alienation specifically affects them and how society, technology, things like that, what they're doing to men and their issues. And so I kind of feel like I needed to be like, hey, like, in a nice way, look, guys, I told you so. Like, we should have been talking about these issues for a really long time. But it's nice to see that we're all on the same page now.
I don't,
but,
oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I feel like that it's a good thing that we're talking about this now, but it's almost like, oh, it's a little too late.
It is a little too late. And that's why it's time to rip the Band-Aid off. And it's time to really, everybody needs to step up. This is a social catastrophe, but there is hope, guys. That's why I'm here, telling you. And if you have sons or you have brothers or you have best friends that are men feeling this way or lost or don't know what direction to go, they need to join this channel now. Make sure to share it with them. That's the greatest way of showing them love.
I feel the same way. Yeah, I mean, we've been talking about it here for years. Also, over on Rising, one of the most poignant elements actually was a lot of the comments that were left on the video. Some of which we have. Let's go ahead and put some of these up there on the screen. They say, "Quote: When you ask yourself, why am I not putting an end to my suffering? And only argument is it would make my mother sad. Oof. It doesn't feel good, bros." Let's go to the next one here. It says, "I love how often they are saying, oh, you can't get laid, boo-hoo, when we talk about men being lonely, is that all we care about is sex, when most of us just want somebody to hold us at night and to feel seen." We have another one that we could put up there. "Sex is nice. It's easy to think it's going to fix everything if you just get laid, but really it's not. Men need intimacy in more forms than just fucking." Let's go to the next one. "As a guy, all I want is for someone to care about me besides my mom and dad." Some of these are just absolutely brutal. There's a lot of longer, real stories that were left in some of your comments. We've seen similar reactions here to videos that we've done about the plights of men and all that. And yet, as you said, it's only now becoming in vogue to talk about it as a reaction, not to even try and acknowledge the problem on its face. So, I mean, what did you make of the reaction? Was it what you expected? And what do you think are some of the better ways that people can talk about it?
So I was actually so surprised at my comment section. It was probably the most depressing comment section I've ever seen. All these men talking about how lonely they feel, how alienated they feel, how social media has made it worse, things like that. And
what do I always say? What do I always say? Get off social media. Maybe I don't say it that often on this channel, but believe me, when I'm with friends, colleagues, clients at the office, whoever, whenever they're complaining or feeling bad or depressed, lonely, first thing I say is, get off that. Get off that. That's number one. Number two, if that thing ain't making money for you, get off of it. Are you getting paid to be on Tinder? I'm just saying. But at the same time, I'm not saying, again, OnlyFans, all of it. There is nothing good that comes from it. But see, when you're young, you don't know any better. You think, oh, but I'm making so much money. I mean, it makes sense that these girls are on OnlyFans because of the difference between the amount of money they're making and what they can even get help to make even better videos versus, being a server or doing anything even with a college degree. would come close to that. And it's an actually easier job to do. Doesn't really require much skill. You might need talent and being resourceful, but it's not. Pretty much any girl can do it up. And then of course men have all these different tastes. So there's a type of girl for every type of guy's fantasy, fetish, taste, etc. It's not only not making anybody happy. And so it's all money driven. Do you see how negative this is? We all know that money never makes anybody happy. This is where I'm getting to the red pill. I'm going to play a little few minutes of this. Then I'm going to go into a little clip from Tucker Carlson and this other guy's dating channel on YouTube. Very short snippet. And then I'm going to take your calls. Okay, we're going to talk about this.
It would be a very taken well video. Everyone would be like, oh, that's so true. But there was a lot of backlash. I think the best way that we can go about talking about this is just in a way that kind of just talks about the issue, not just like, oh, don't go to Andrew Tate. Don't go to the right. Come to us. We need you, like that sort of thing. Right. That's not really how you tackle this. You talk about the actual things that are affecting them. Because if you're like, oh, we only.
Yeah, like getting off of social media. And I'm just saying that little thing, that one tweak is going to have major positive experiences. Hands down, by doing one thing. You don't always have to do it all and go to the gym. One thing. Be connected with your family, your friends. Get off the phone. Get off that black box that's sucking the life out of you. It doesn't work to make you happy or better looking. And no matter how popular you think you are, it's not doing it. It's just another addiction. And again, it's also an illusion. It's not real. It's very artificial. We are organic matter. Reality check.
Only care about men because, we want you on our side. That's not a good way to go about it. It's kind of transparent. And if you're sort of an apolitical sort of guy just dealing with these subjects, you're not really going to listen to someone like that. But if you actually care and talk about the subject, I feel like it will be a lot more effective of helping men in general, and they would be less inclined to go to people like Andrew Tate.
Exactly. Hello. And what have I been saying? I've said it in many episodes, and my locals, you know me, and and thank you, because it's my locals that also have helped me kind of find exactly how to approach this, this channel where I'm doing reaction videos and this. So yes, this is To Be a Man series. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen and ladies. So quick segue, and I'm going to take your calls. Okay. So here's the quick segue. It's, I recommend you watch this whole clip, but I'm going to get into the rest of this clip on the next episode. Okay. I'm going to chunk it down. So here's this guy. You guys familiar with, Robert Greene? I read one of his the most popular books was like the 40 Powers of Law or something. I'm always saying it wrong when I'm not planning this. Okay. Because again, this is not scripted. It's live. And so when I was looking for who's out there, talking to men on the YouTube, arena, and this guy came up, and and as you can see, let me make sure you guys can see my screen. It says, my advice to young men. We're not going to hear the whole thing, but I'm going to say one thing that's directly related to red pill. So bear with me.
Show off how yourself, to show how people who show off how wealthy they are, how many fancy cars they have, are actually weak. They're actually insecure.
Oh! How are these kids? Where are the parents of these kids that are so brainwashed and zombied out over Andrew and Tate and his brother? I understand why he's being interviewed, because he's made such a commotion. He's got such a following. Of course, anybody who needs to keep their audience engaged, Tucker Carlson, you name it, of course they're going to interview him. I get it. I want to interview him. But the interview that I'm going to give Andrew Tate is going to be for real, the way I would if I was going on a date with him or something. Like it would be so much fun and much more interesting. Like I don't want to interview him the way anybody else has done it. You guys have a connection with him? Let me know. But obviously he seems to go to people with like an exceptional amount of audience following. So maybe it'll take me some time. Who knows? Maybe he'll end up in jail by the time that happens. Who knows? But for now, that's the red pill lie. And I'm going to give you another example. I'm not saying that this guy's an expert, but I've known a lot about him actually. And he's very well read. And he's had his own struggles like we all do. And that's awesome. And he's got some wisdom. And yeah, everybody knows that. And but the young people, what? Nobody's saying it. Or of course, maybe a younger generation, they're not watching this guy or people like me or whatever. And they're not realizing how, you know, because I understand it's when you grow up in a superficial reality of a world, of course you really, no matter how much you know that, you know, money doesn't buy happiness. The women that I know that go on dates, they're looking always for, the hottest guy, which I believe later on that clip that I just shared with you from Breaking Points and Shoe on Head, she gets into like some of those statistics that come out and how, you know, women are swiping like say 4% of the men that look a certain way and have a certain look, like they have money. Even if the woman is a gold digger or superficial or an airhead or whatever, arm candy, right? Trophy wife, whatever, however you want to say it. Honestly, it's such a turn on when a woman has a guy that can treat her at things because we like being spoiled. That's in a very simple, quick way of saying things. But it's not unnatural for a woman to want to feel, hello, men have been serenading to women since forever, bringing them flowers since forever. You know what I mean? Like, and that's where it has to shift where, first of all, men are not being creative because if every man has to get money and have a fancy car, ew, trust me, the guy's not going to be good in bed ever. Never. I don't care how much porn he watches. In fact, that'll even make him worse. Ladies and gentlemen, you can talk to me, ask me. I'll give you the dirty details that I probably can't give you here on the YouTubes. Okay. So,
they're actually incredibly immature.
Yeah. Do you not look at Andrew Tate's face and see how goofy immature he is? Like what a kid he is? I told you, I got nothing against him and everybody deserves free speech. He could do him. But we got to be realistic here that the guy is showing to me as clear as day that he's immature, that he's an idiot, that he wants this clout and he wants this attention. And let's not forget, he's made his so-called millions off the back of women. The same women that he's telling men to dominate. That's the lowest form of a human. Besides a pedo. Okay. I know. I'm getting off track. All right.
Talk about the laws of human nature. That when you look at somebody who has very extreme qualities like bravado, like brashness, like bragging about how great they are, by bragging about how many women they've seduced, by bragging.
Sounds familiar, ladies and gentlemen?
About their fancy cars. They're actually really weak, little tiny people.
They're so weak, I could chew them up and spit them out. That's why I want to interview all these people. I'll chew you up and spit you out. Just tell your audience that you're just an act. I'm cool with that. You're ruining people's lives, even if the people have the choice to decide who they want to follow, who they like, who they believe or they don't believe. But a lie is a lie. You can say, I like this guy, even if he's a piece of shit. Get it. Roger that. Oh, pizza, well, not necessarily pizza. Say McDonald's. You know, it's bad for you, but hey, I love it, Olga. Fuck it. I'm going to eat McDonald's till the day I die, like Trump. Okay, great. But you know what you're doing. That's the thing, right? Get your leaders, your wisdom, your mentors, get them straight. Just like your politicians knowing that they all lie. Why is anybody at this point, especially after 2020, and there's a great awakening, has not come to the conclusion that, bro, we're all on the same team here because the country is in massive debt that we're never going to get out of. We're going to talk about this in the future. We're going to connect it with the history. Matter of fact, Dennis Prager made a clip about it. Like, well, it was a good thing when people were slaves in Israel, like when they were indebted to, like, say, a master. We'll get into that. That's another story. But do you understand? This stuff, it gets deeper and deeper. And just like, it's always been that game of somebody being a slave. And that's what made America so specifically unique, especially after Jesus Christ. Oh, thank you, Jesus. Okay. Now, here's a clip of this guy that I also found when I was looking for like men's advice or like what's out there, right? Not just whatever we already know about Fresh and Fit. I can't even watch those clips. I stopped. I can't do it. It's all triggered bullshit. It's all, let's get the idiot women and these two idiot guys, and they are the manosphere. I can't even listen to them. It's clearly a joke, and it's rotting. It's literally putrefied. The other guy too, something complicated. What was his name? Oh, I can't even, with his little crazy fake teeth. And he's in, what is he, in Korea or something like, or Japan? No, I think it's Korea. He's somewhere in Asia. And he's like, why Asian women are better to date. Dude, you're not Asian and you didn't grow up there and you don't really know how they're thinking and you're not a woman. I guarantee you, I'm going to go out there as soon as I can. I'm going to get these women on camera, okay, answering my questions and proving that you're just going to Asia because you're a loser. But yet you're telling everybody that you are the man to go to be a real man and find a real woman. Oh, I can't. I can't. Okay. So here's this guy who I found and I was like, oh. And then when I see that he's got a big following, I'm like, who is this guy? And apparently he's called Based Zeus. And the title is, let me make sure you guys can see what I'm looking at. And the title is Dating Advice Men Need to Hear in 2023. Okay, then let's play it. Just a little bit. I'm going to play the whole thing. Just the intro, I think, was really good. Again, he literally nails the red pill the way I've been nailing it forever. Before the red pill even existed, and I can't believe the red pill has been hijacked. Because the red pill was about waking up, not about men learning how to be a high-value man, which we're also going to get into.
For the last 2 weeks, I was staying in that building. That is the tallest residential apartment building in Europe. As you can imagine, quite expensive, it's quite fancy, and it is quite nice. Right now, I'm wearing a $300 Gucci ring. I'm traveling, spending the summer in Europe at the moment. But when I'm home, I have two separate $5,000 Saint Laurent jackets each. I have $1,000 Saint Laurent boots. I have a wardrobe in general that's worth tens of thousands of dollars. I drive a $45,000 car. I have tons of followers on Instagram. And yet, none of these things are enough in isolation to attract women. None of these things are enough to attract girlfriend quality women, women who you would actually want a long-term relationship with. And perhaps the most prolific lie in dating right now, especially in the red pill space, is that if you become a successful man, women will just come to you. Women will just come by default. Yet the fact is...
See that? That's exactly it. Because only a young person, I was going to say idiot, but like meaning lack of knowledge, right? Somebody ignorant, naive. That's the only people that are falling for this. And honestly, you got to be a real man to want a real relationship. So they don't really want a real relationship, but they talk about it all the time. Like they want a high quality woman. Then that's a lie. They do not want a high quality woman. They don't. That's not the way you attract it.
I could put on my fancy $1,000 outfit.
You want power and you want control. That's what you want. You want influence. You want power. You want your ego stroked, which is very usual, not in all humans, because women have egos. We all have egos, right? So we all love our ego to be stroked, of course. Specifically men, and more so younger men. But again, there's two sides to this, right? We have the older men that have been burned out, divorced. That's another issue. But then we got the young ones that are so lost in the sauce. Never in our history, or at least the last 100 years, no, never has this been a thing where everyone's getting a fucking, fancy car and outfits. Everybody now is a princess, right? Everybody's kid has a daughter is a princess. Before there was only one princess. And it sucked. And she was what? A brat.
stand in my cool car all day and just wait for women to magically fall from the sky.
Hey,
and I would be waiting for
that's how it happens, ladies and gentlemen. That's how it happens, because of course we're talking about a generation that just picks up a phone and swipes left, right. I actually have this plan that I'm going to be doing in the next month where I have never, for the record, I have never signed up to a dating app. I've had my friends try to do it. I've flipped out. I'm like, get me off of there. Delete that right now. But I have never. I know how they work. I've helped clients and friends make the best of it. But I tell them it's really the worst way to ever meet somebody and be happy in the interim. Because it used to be happy. It used to be fun to date. I know some people are like, dating is not fun. Well, it depends on the way you look at it. We'll talk about that as well. Maybe not today, maybe in the future. But keep that in mind and bring it back, bring it back at me. Like Saki's thing. Let's circle back. All right.
Entire eternity. I would wait until I was blue in the face and my hair went gray and I would die of old age. And the reason for this is because despite all of the success that you may have and you likely have as a successful older guy, is that you didn't actually do anything dating wise to attract these women. All of this.
There you go. Talk about a golden nugget, baby, ladies and gentlemen.
Successes and material possessions that you have are great, but they're not an active investment in your dating life. They're not an active action that is going to create a result for you in your dating life. Dating requires an active investment. And although women are going to be more attracted to a man who is successful because it implies and it pre-selects for a man who has his shit together, for a man who is capable, a man who is confident.
So she's not worried about, can he pay the bills? Are we going to get kicked out, right? Can I take care of the kids? Like, nobody wants to worry about that, right? I'm saying it's natural for anybody to be that way, but also specifically women. But see, everybody wants guarantees where guarantees don't exist. So instead of focusing on who's the right, perfect person, who's the ideal person, it should be, what do you bring to the table? Both parties. And if shit does happen, because shit always can happen, even if it's a natural disaster, you need to be able to cope with it. Now, see, everybody wants an easy out. There is no easy out. Sooner or later, you will confront reality. And the rich of the rich, like the so-called elite, which I call the scum of the earth, not la creme de la creme. Those people, once people start realizing that the money is not worth anything, and we can choose to not use it, again, use it from the usury system, then what do these rich people do? If a security guard goes, you know what? I'm not going to defend your house. I'm not going to protect you. The bodyguards, everybody. No, you know what? Your money can't buy me. I'm not giving you my food. No, you're not taking my steaks. Nope. I'm going to give it to my community, my neighbors, and they're going to give me potatoes in exchange. We don't need you. We don't need your fucking fake ass money. It's that simple, guys. It's that simple. So again, ladies, you better look for a man that can handle himself, that can build things, fix things, or at least has a community of friends, families, cousins that can do shit, that can live off the grid and live more richer and healthier lives than ever. Modern technology has not improved our health system. It has not improved our happiness levels at all. And to this day, the happiest people on earth are actually the poorest people. How many times we got to go through this? I know nobody likes pain. I get it. I don't like getting their Band-Aid ripped off, but I also don't like to wait a week to get that fucking Band-Aid off. Because once you kind of have enough pain in your life, you kind of get used to it and you're more resilient. But we'll talk about those things too.
A man who knows what he wants, a man who can command the world around him, and that is very attractive to a woman because it shows her that you are likely going to be the right man to lead her. If you don't put in the work to attract a quality mate, you will never get a quality mate. And the funny thing about this is that as a successful man, you should know this. You can't just magically sit around and hope that because you have a six-pack and hope because you're in good shape, it's all automatically going to make you rich, or that it's automatically going to get you connections with the right people. In order to become successful financially, you have to put put in the work and have an active investment in this area in your life. In order to get in shape, you need to put in the work and make an active investment in this area of your life. Why in your dating life do you believe that you can do nothing and yet still get high quality, top tier?
Boom! Boom! Thank you. Thank you there, Base Zeus, for putting it so nicely in the editing. You know, I'm sure you have a team that does your editing. So, of course, great quality, great product.
Results. It doesn't make any sense. It shouldn't compute in your mind, but
it doesn't, because you got people like Andrew Tate, and even, like I said, Fresh and Fit, whatever. And I think it's laziness, because it's just easier to believe that than to actually become a man, to become a woman. It's all easier. Just put some makeup on, shake your ass. Like, that's not the easiest fucking thing a woman can do. Look at me. I get all worked up. I'm ready to take your calls right after this few seconds of what Tucker Carlson said. Carlson. Tucker Carlson. This was a few months ago. Yeah, this was back in March, and I'm sure you've seen either the whole podcast or clips of this podcast. And I chose one part of it for the purpose of today's Red Pill Live. Now check this out. He's talking about women, okay? It's a pretty long. I'm only going to show you a couple sentences. So, hello, you can learn things from women, men. Exactly. Like being super uber tough. No wonder with the whole toxic masculinity, everybody's just lost. Like, shut up and be a good person. Stop thinking about, is this manly? Is this womanly? Develop yourself. Master a skill. I mean, if mastering a skill to you is OnlyFans, you know, I hope you get a financial planner and invest your money for the future, because you're not going to be able to do that forever. Even if people are into like older ladies. But either way, it's just money. You won't be happy, and you will never have a good relationship if your livelihood depends on jobs like OnlyFans. That's right. Yeah. Right? That 2 sentences. But he does say a lot about, you know, how you learn about women, you know, and how, and yeah, that's the thing. When you're with the opposite sex, when you're with somebody from a different culture, different society, it's not like I'm going to become more Asian because I hang out with my Asian friends. You get that? Okay. We can go down the list, but it's very important that, you know, being in a monogamous relationship, putting in the work, that's the real red pill, not the current trending fake red pill for the manosphere, especially here on the boob tube. So with that, I am going to stop there, and I'm going to take your calls. I'm going to send you guys a link right now. Hope you guys can make it. Let me know if you have any questions, comments. I want to make sure I can answer to everyone, or, you know, the more people I could talk to in this live, the better. So, and it's up to you to use your camera. I'm really looking forward to just like talk show radio, you know what I mean? But hey, if you want to show your face, go ahead. So you'll pop up. You're going to click that link I just put in the live chat. Matter of fact, while you guys are thinking about it or clicking on it, getting yourself set up, let me also send that to the viewers on Twitter. I'm going to send it in the thread on Twitter. There we go. So if they want to join, click to call in. What is that? Hold on. I'm like, did I send the wrong link? Oh, no. All right. No, good. All right. As you can see, I could talk forever about this subject. It's my favorite. It's really my specialty is relationships in a whole. Breaking down, breaking spells, as some people would call it. Cutting through the truth. Yeah. Well, I mean, I know it's Friday. Maybe people are really busy, really working, or maybe you're just tired and you don't feel like calling in. No problem. I will just keep it open. Well, not this link. This link will expire after, as soon as I end the live, as far as calling in. But I will be doing a live reaction next week. I'm not sure which one I'm going to do in order. I'm definitely going to be doing another one of Oliver Anthony. And I think it's going to be Ren. I think the next one is going to be Ren, Murderer. You guys voted for that. And then, of course, on a separate live, I'm going to continue with this To Be a Man series. And please, I recommend this for women and men. This is not just for men. I'm talking about men, but they both need to be here in order for it to work. Do you understand? You can't just tell one side, be this way, that way, that way, that way, and then you'll get everything you want. Nope. No. No. Mm-mm. It's not just because of where things have led and where we've gotten within relationships in life and society, not just in Western culture, all over the world. There are basics that have never changed. And one of them is the lie that we're so different that we're not compatible. One of them is the lie, like feminism, that's a lie. The manosphere, a lie. You know, the way they talk to each other, man, we got to stick together. Guys were talking like that before, but there was no internet. They said it differently, but it's the same thing. There's nothing new under the sun except for, in all of history, there's never been more opportunity to be delusional and to not put the work. That's where modern technology has changed this conversation. Other than that, the basics still apply. And the basic is find out who you are, what you stand for. And you know, when people want something, they want it bad enough, even if they don't have no money and they're just resourceful, they can get whatever they want. If they don't give up, if they're resilient. So yeah. Hi, Black Wolf. Hello. Who else has already been in here that I haven't seen? Anybody else? Oh, definitely. I said, why would a guy want to be to be with a woman that's only attracted to them by their money? That's a great question. But if you're a guy that can't get laid and you think you're never going to get a chance because you don't think you're good looking enough, or you have a small wee-wee, or I don't know, you have some kind of handicap, you're too short, or whatever your reason is that, oh, women are never going to want me. And if they think all they have to do is figure out a way to make money, buy that car, it sounds like a promise, like paradise. Like, take this pill and it'll take you to paradise. You know, you never have to deal with your problems anymore. Just take this pill. It's the same shit. Same thing. So with that, then yeah, why would you want a woman that wants your money? If you're hungry enough. I think that says it all. You feel me? Let me know if you need me to tell you more. But thanks for your comment. Hey, prepper operator. Great to see you. Who's that? Oh, Buzzacino. Ooh, we got a caller, ladies and gentlemen. You ready? Okay, here we go. Abe, I hope I say your name right. or your handle. How are you?
Groovy.
I'm so glad you called. I was just about to say, all right, we're done for Friday. It's 2:00. I'm out. So what do you got? You got any questions or you got a comment? What do you got for me or for us?
Well, first of all, love your common sense. I mean, someone down to earth, speaking her mind. That's what the world needs. Especially with all these women that, exactly like you said, they just go after the rich guys. Well, unfortunately, they ain't going to live very good lives, are they?
No, absolutely not.
It's not till they've trapped themselves in their own trap that some of them find out.
Yep.
So it's actually dangerous for some women to do that. Some of them should think twice before actually getting on that boat.
Well, here's the thing. So before this, like, because, now it's more of a trend than ever before, right? And more global and in bigger numbers. But I have a family member who years ago was married, divorced twice. I won't give too many details because maybe they'll be like, don't be talking about my stuff. But let's just say that they got so burned out. The marriages are so bad. So bad. Like the struggle for her was so bad. Whether it's her fault or not, okay? And you know what her answer was when she came out through it? You know what she had learned after 20 years of hardship and struggle and raising kids and all that on her own and blah, blah, blah? You know what she said to me? From now on, I'm going to only date rich men. She wasn't dating or married to poor men either, by the way. They were average income guys. They never needed money. But it wasn't that. She just decided, I'm sure you've heard of that before, right? Where people are just like, you know what? I'm not going to do it for love anymore. I'm not going to, the next time I'm going to be with a guy for his money. And this is a grown woman in her 40s who said this. What do you think about that?
Well, I think that's a woman that's basically had to work a lot, do most of the work side of it.
Yeah.
And has got rather tired, rather fed up, and not got enough love. I mean,
yeah,
not being funny, but your first thing is to love yourself. The second thing is to love your family. The third thing is to love the rest of the world after.
I mean, we're speaking the same language here. We might, I mean, either we're kindred souls, we're the same, cut from the same cloth, something. I forget all the ways that you could say it, but oh my God, that's it. It's that basic, but that profound, right?
Well, that's the thing. Us as humans, most of us overthink things. That's the thing about having a bigger brain. We do tend to overthink things. I mean, look at nature. Nature is so basic, so simple. It's around us every day. It's beautiful. And instead of looking at that beauty and seeing the basic of ways, most of us, we see things in a twisted way and, this overthinking way, and it causes paranoia and fear and all the rest of it. So you wonder if some of it is actually directed by society and the people that run it.
Yes. But people can't have that victim mentality anymore. They can't have the excuses, they have to do something, not just complain or talk about it.
Yeah, a true survivor is not a victim.
Right.
They're a champion.
Hey, I just had a friend. It was my birthday a couple of weeks ago. And he sent me this beautiful poem of how we met. And it was really, really, not only did it touch me, it was amazing. But what you just said reminded me of him because we hadn't seen each other in a couple of years in person. And I just went to visit him about a month ago. And he goes, I've always been so impressed with your survival skills. And I'm like, you've been saying that for years. Like, Olga, you're such a survivor. And I go, I don't like that. I don't like that because even maybe I was a survivor at one point, maybe even 3 points. But at this point, I don't want to survive. I want to thrive. And I feel more like you're saying. I feel like surviving is still like you're always struggling. You're always in that energy of survival where you're saying you're surviving. Wait, you said it better than me. Say it again about the champion. Say that again.
I honestly,
you don't even remember it.
I forgot. I'm one of these poets. Unless I write it down or got me,
you lose it.
Folder, it's just gone. It's in.
I got
you. It's gone.
Oh my God, that's awesome. Well, I'll tell you what. Go ahead.
I do have poetry for you if you would like some.
Right this second.
I've got 3 wonderful poems that people like. One in particular that people request. I should be published within the next couple of months with my first book. I'm a little bit of a singer, but mainly I'm a poet.
I love it. Artist. Do you want to read it or do you want to post it in the comments or how do you want to do it?
I could read 1 or 2.
All right, go ahead. And if I don't get any other call while Mr. Buzzacchino here is gracing us with his poem, then it's going to be a wrap, ladies and gentlemen. So make sure to call in now. So I got you there before we head out. Till the next time. Go ahead, Buzzacchino. Thank you so much.
This one's called We Must. Through rain and storm, through thick and thin, I'll do my best to never restart. Through rain and storm, through thick and thin, I'll do my best to never give in, to never give up, to never drop out, to never stay quiet when there's need to shout, to never lay down when it's time to stand, to not be selfish when I can lend a hand, to not be hateful but give love its grace and the chance to heal the world and our race.
That was beautiful. That was awesome.
I only do short, quick, easy poems. Do you want another one?
Thank God, because I thought you were going to do a long one. I was like, well, I don't know if we have time. Sometimes it can be like,
Yeah, I don't do really long ones. I only do short poems. Want another one?
Go ahead. Shoot.
This is I will. I will never give up. For life I hold dear. I will face everything, even when filled with fear. I will push through the pain. I will smile through the tears. I will stay on the path through the trials and the years. I will harden my heart to confusion, distraction. I will not be ignorant and dwell in inaction. I will live, laugh, and love in the face of mortality. I will not let evil change my morality. And when my time comes and I lay down to rest, I will have less regrets and know I did my best.
Woo! Did you see? I think Carrie Lewis was applauding you in the text from the last poem. Oh, guys, I hope you enjoyed that. Please
Can I
let
give
us
you
know.
one last one?
Okay.
This is the shortest one, but it's the most called for.
Look, Carrie Lewis, like, damn, I loved it. Yeah, me too. You gotta send it to me, or I'll post it on. Send it to me if you can. The email's in the description below.
Will do.
So I can find you. So I can find you too. You know what I mean? But go ahead.
Yeah. Last little one. This is called I Feel You. I feel you deep within my heart, as though we were one and not apart, as though we were walking on the same path. I've cried your tears. I've laughed your laugh. I've screamed at your pain, I wept at your joy, and swam in the river of love you deploy. I feel you forever, past all and the end. I love you, my brother, my sister, my friend.
You're going to make me cry. I just got teared up. Bravo. Thank you. That was beautiful. Loved it. Wow. And your voice, the voiceover, it really amplifies it. Your accent makes it even more profound and deep. No,
it's probably because I'm typically British.
I love it. Thank you so much. I feel so blessed that you came on and you shared this with us, and I hope the whole world hears it.
Hey, I feel blessed for getting a chance to speak my poems on your show and to actually listen to you doing your stuff all the time on here. I love your reactions, especially the way you get giddy over some people. But then again, those people normally are the most talented. So you're getting giddy for a good reason. So yay.
I know it's corny, but hey, it's real. It's real, right? Not scripted.
I mean, Ren High Ren was awesome.
Oh, High Ren,
that
please.
Was a piece of art. That was a piece of art.
He's definitely, to me, he's just, I mean, godly. Like that's just,
Yeah, he'll never get to see my thank you poem, but at the same time, I actually wrote him a thank you poem because of Hyren.
Really?
Inspiration. That's what he is.
Yeah, Hyren is phenomenal, but it's like he's more than that. I mean, the amount of talent in one little body.
Yep.
And the amount of how he conducts it and comes like there's God in him. It's not.
Yeah, look what he's been through.
I know. I didn't know that the first reaction. I didn't know
then
that.
Then again, I've been through just as much, if not a little bit more than him. So I've actually got a poem, Found My Reason, that kind of explains the way I am. But I'm never going to be singing wise up on Ren's. I mean, he is a
You never know.
rapper.
There could be a collaboration here in the future.
I don't know. I ain't that good a singer, and I ain't a rapper like
No, but
he
about
is.
what if you were the writer?
Oh,
what if you help him co-write and make a song together?
It's a possibility, but I don't think I'm anywhere up near his standard. I mean, with a flick of the wrist, he can just give it, you know?
Well,
he has done.
I don't know. He just, I just read a post that he did the other day where he wrote how he wrote the song. Was it the Tale of Jenny? I forget what song he said he was writing, and that he was sitting in front of the beach and it was cold as hell. He's like, it was freezing cold, and I had my eye on the ocean, and I was trying to get this out and put it on paper. And I thought, again, it's that backstory that you can tell that he's not just pumping out lyrics, as they say. And don't get me wrong. No. Look, there's no way to describe this guy. There's just not. And I mean, we've had great musicians in history. I mean, for me, some of them are Mozart, I consider, Zeppelin something out a little like not normal and just unique and special. Queen. I mean, but Ren, he's Gen Z. I'm telling you, that guy's got a touch of God in him, like I've never seen. All right, with that, I'm going to wrap it up because I won't shut up, and I have to go. I have to get ready for my next appointment. And if you haven't become a Locals member, everyone, I'm going to be on Locals later. Join me for a little. I'm not going to tell you, but it'll be fun. It'll be fun. It'll be live. You can join me out and about. It's not going to be here in the studio. Buzzacino, much love. Hope to see you soon in the next one. Have a great night. Have a great day, great weekend, whatever.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure, and loads of love to you and everyone in the chat. And
thank you.
Please, everyone, be safe. We're in troubled times.
Yes, we are. Thank you, Buzzacino.
Thank you.
All right, guys. That was awesome, right? I feel blessed that Buzzacino came on and shared his poems, right? All right, guys. Well, until next time, very soon, much love, many blessings, and I'll talk to you soon.